So, who's gone through a midlife crisis? I went through my midlife crisis when I was in my 20s. When I was in my 20s, I used to go to these, retreats and workshops and so on, and I was very popular because I was the only young man there, right? Surrounded by all these lovely middle-aged women who were like, I wish my husband would come to this with me. What are you doing here? And so in my 20s, I went through this whole period where, I was doing what a lot of people do in midlife, where we start to question, what is the meaning of all this? And at some point, I was going through some struggles, and one of my mentors, he said, you don't need to worry about all that stuff, because we get ahead of ourselves so much of the time, thinking about, well, what will happen if this and that, and if I don't make the right decision and all that. And he said, you don't have to worry about all that. All you have to do is take one step towards the divine, and the divine will take 99 steps towards you. So that's where this comes from. One day at a time, no matter how deep the pain inside, one day at a time.
You could squeal with delight about this. Yes, you know, at Unity, part of what we do is looking at that life does not function all completely and perfectly, and it is more about how do you deal with things in your life. And this morning, we all get to do that. We just got word that there is some sort of water break main problem, and none of the washrooms in this entire building, both sides, are working. Oh, I'm so deeply sorry. It's one of those things we don't have control over. So the city has been called and they're working on it. So maybe in the hour, let's all just affirm that the washrooms are working by the time we're done. That would be great.
And drink less coffee.
And yeah, and drink. Yeah, they should have told me after I drank 2 glasses of water before I came up here. It's like, oh. Anyway, it is what it is, so we journey on. We journey on. Anyway, it doesn't change the fact that we've come here seeking a deeper connection, wanting to start the new year in a place of sacred space. And it is my pleasure this morning to call upon Alara Payten, who is part of our spiritual leadership team here. She has a lovely flair and gift of doing ceremony, and she is going to be leading us in the white stone ceremony, which she'll tell you more about.
All right, now, who does not have a white stone or a felt? I'm going to get those passed out first. We'll take care of business first. So keep those hands up nice and high.
Who needs a belt?
Belts are on their way. All right, now how many of you have done this white stone? Oh, just a minute, I've got to wait for the felts first. Don't answer that question. They won't know who needs a felt.
Yeah, don't ask for a show of hands.
Yeah, I was going to ask for a show of hands, not the right time. There's divine order and everything. All right, so now, some of you may have heard of this white stone ceremony that is based on Roman times, the times that are written about in the books that we call the Bible. And it was a practice in Roman times that it was a custom and a practice to give prisoners who had served their time in prison and were now free and were being released from prison, to give them a white stone to show them that they're free. They didn't get a piece of paper. They didn't get any kind of documentation. They got a white stone, and they were the only ones that got this white stone. And it meant when they gave that white stone as evidence, or showed that white stone as evidence, the people that saw the stone knew that they had completed what they were to complete. It was done, it was a new day, a new life, and they were free. It's mentioned in a verse found in the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 17. Let anyone who has an ear listen to what the Spirit is saying to the churches. To everyone who conquers or who overcomes something, I will give some of the hidden manna, and I will give a white stone. And on the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it. That's you today. You're going to be receiving a name that only you will know. Metaphysician Emily Cady, in the book Lessons in Truth, which is a much-loved unity book, written way back in 1903, speaks about this verse as well. And she focuses on the word manna, which means word of God, as being heard in the secret place of the Most High in each one of us, where our indwelling Christ resides. And that Spirit is what's going to speak to each of us today. And it's from these powerful references that 2 Unity ministers, Gay and David Williamson, created this ritual that is used in Unity centers around the world. Today we will claim freedom. You ready for that? Mm-hmm. Who's ready to claim freedom? All right. Now, who has experienced this white stone ritual before? And I invite all of us that have done this before to come with beginner's mind, to release any expectation of how things went in any other ceremony. Come with new eyes, new ears, your open heart and your open mind. And of course, those that have not experienced, you get to experience it through that beginner's mind. How many of you were actually here last week for the Burning Bowl and the Letter to God? So we already started that process of letting go. Reverend Pat led that for you last week. And this is another ritual that lets us make peace with the past and step boldly and confidently into the new day. So this is about freedom, about moving past ways that no longer serve your highest good, moving past the limiting thoughts, beliefs, contracts, vows, whatever word you might want to use, moving past your beliefs about what you can and cannot do in your life. And each one of us has overcome adversity of many kinds. If we could hear each other's stories, we might see many commonalities in how we've met adversity and the types of challenges that we've had. Seems to be part of the human journey, doesn't it? And some of us are experiencing different levels of adversity in our life right now. You might have had times that have shaken you to your core, and you wondered how you were ever going to break through to the next step. Thank goodness we only have to take one step, and Spirit takes a 99. Don't you like that? When I first heard that, saw that title years ago, I thought I was going to have to take 99 steps. I'm at the bottom of the stairs. I'm like, I'm so glad, Anthony, that it's the other way around. I really like getting the light end of the stick on this one, I'll tell you. And when change or loss barges through our door, our mind, our body can become flooded with fear and limiting beliefs. And if we allow this to be the gift of adversity, to be present to our beliefs that we might not even know are in us until they're challenged. Have you ever had something happen where you have a reaction and you go, I did not even know that's how I responded to life. It wasn't until it smacked you in the face and all of a sudden you realize, wow, this is mine. This is mine to be with. This is mine to allow transformation. Perhaps you've had times in your life, like many of us, where we cry out, why? Why has this happened? I don't know what to do. How will I manage on my own? When will it ever get better? Certainly had those kind of thoughts with the deaths of my parents and the ending of my long-term marriage and a financial crisis. But I know from being a part of a spiritual community and having other ways of being supported in my life spiritually, that I do get to the other side. Life keeps going on one day at a time. And I'm choosing to be supported in spiritual community so that as I'm journeying, I spend the least amount of time lost in my fear-based maze mind. You might have noticed that when you get to the other side, when you have allowed yourself to have practices where you can come to center, where you can come from being caught in the whirlpool of the storm out there. You find ways in your prayer, your meditation, your yoga, your walks, loving up your doggy, whatever it is, to come home to yourself. And we all have this place inside where love and compassion, where peace and wisdom reigns. And it's vital to our well-being. I come from the medical field as a physical therapist for many years, where spirituality was really not part of what we got to offer. And now in the hospitals, there's a lot more about spirituality happening. They're realizing you have got to look after the holistic aspect of people. I know many people in this room are holistic practitioners. And so it is vital for us to find ways to connect with our own inner being. Not just when we're in crisis, but practicing, having a discipline, having a practice, so that Well, the musicians didn't just get up here this morning and not practiced for 20 years and landed on the stage. They've been practicing so they can get up there and be on target for what they're presenting for us. And so it's in our practicing every day, and I'm not talking about a practice where you beat yourself up when you don't do it. It could be one simple breath at a light stop when you realize you're not driving in a centered way. How do you bring your spiritual, emotional, mental, and energetic being into alignment? Well, today we're going to practice a form of listening through this white stone ceremony. This ceremony is a rite of passage to a new beginning, a fresh start. I invite you to see it as a sacred journey indeed, an opportunity to connect and listen within to your own sacred self, your God connection, your Christ consciousness. The writer of the book of Revelation speaks to those who conquer or overcoming, which means they are moving forward with faith and overcoming the challenges that they have in the real circumstances of their life. We don't belittle the circumstances that we are facing that are challenging. But what we do affirm is a denial, a form of denial, where we say these circumstances do not have the power to control my life. Nothing is greater than the power of the one power and one presence that we call by many names around this world. My true divine nature reigns within me. During the white stone ceremony, what will come to you is a spiritual name or identity. A spiritual name that is being decreed just for you. This is a naming of yourself or a renaming of your life for this coming year that we humans call 2019 on our human calendar. It's a kind of christening. A christening of a new name, a new sense of identity, and true christening means Christ finding. And Christ is, here is that consciousness of God, consciousness of the divine. You may find that you hear a title. It may be a new authentic state of being or a quality or an actual name. We are told in the Bible that God's name came to Moses as I am that I am. And so you may choose to start with I am and see what follows. The I am, that affirmation and statement of your true identity. You might say, for example, I am understanding, or I am filled with love. I am a writer. I am a teacher. Now, this is not a mind exercise, so I invite you while you're doing this, you will be invited during the meditation, to connect your mind to your heart and let your heart-mind do the revelation, right? So it's not a mind exercise. And I invite you to stay open, just relax. Some people don't get the name, don't get the identity while they're in the meditation here. We'll have 2 minutes of silence after there's a guided meditation. And if you don't get it while you're here, just relax with that, will you? And know that you can do more meditation in your own way to get the word, the name that is right for you. Now, please do not write on your stone until you've gone through the process. That's an invitation for you. Because I could think of quite a few names that seem appropriate right now, but that would be in my mind. And they would all be appropriate, but you know on the other side of a meditation, you can be in a different space. So I invite you to not pick up your pen to write on your stone until the place where the Williamsons have put in this. And there's a reason for that in ritual. In ritual, we are connecting our superconsciousness, consciousness, and subconscious. And so there's a process for that. So if you can trust the process, that would be lovely. This is a sacred heart opening and revelation opportunity. And to help us with that, Anthony's going to come up and we are going to sing an opening meditation song. Now, normally, those of you who've been here before know that we sing that song at the end of the meditation. We're not doing that today. We're doing it only as the opening today. Okay, so let's sing together. I am opening. I'd like you to hold your stone in your hand, by the way.
I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am
Holding your stone, feeling its texture, its temperature. I invite you to drop down, down, down from your brain mind into your heart mind, connecting the two minds together, perhaps through a stream of light. Connecting the two minds together and thanking your brain mind and its intellectual capacities for being a faithful servant to your sacred heart mind. Breathing in more fully and breathing out more completely. Sense your heartbeat. Giving thanks for the physical heart that allows you to be alive in this physical body. Giving thanks for the sacred heart center. Allowing your heart and your lungs to work together now as one unit. Perhaps putting your hand, perhaps your stone, on your heart. This center that science shows is 5,000 times greater than the brain mind. And as you presence your stone, you know that it represents release from old ways of thinking. Release from limiting ways of expressing your faith and your creative life force. Release from the old ways born of a sense of separation from your source of all being, from others and the planet. Turning within even more deeply now, bringing even more of your awareness to your heart and breathing deeply and slowly. Become receptive to that which wants to reveal itself to you. Go within now to the secret place of the Most High, to your own secret, sacred garden at the center of your own sacred heart. Feeling one with Spirit, with the God of your understanding. Allow yourself to truly and fully be in this sacred space. Feel the calmness and the peace as you come into the consciousness and the presence of pure love. Now immersed in the presence of divine light and love, in the presence of your own true divine nature, affirm to yourself, I am free. It is my divine birthright to claim my clean slate. I claim it now. This moment of deciding to choose my freedom, this is a new beginning. I see and know myself walking out of bondage, a free expression of the divine. I see and know myself in this divine way, unique, lovable, wondrous. I learn the lessons that I need to learn from my life experiences so that I can and I am going forward as a free person today with this wisdom, a part of my evolution. I know my holiness, which means I know my divine wholeness. The embodiment of this knowing is beyond mere knowledge, is a part of who I am consciously, subconsciously, and therefore allows the release of that which no longer serves my good. I move forward in a direction aligned with my higher knowing and my soul essence. I align my ego will with the divine will for my life. I release limitations of compulsive habits that have been holding me captive. I deny their power over me, and I purposefully nurture and nourish my soul, my body, my mind in the sacredness of prayer and meditation. I am a radiating center of divine light. I am sustained from within, and I feel and know a renewed peace of mind. I am divinely guided, and in a moment when we enter into 2 minutes of silence, it is my spirit being, the God within me, that reveals my new name, my primary energy signature for this year. I invite it in, and once revealed, I hold my new name in my heart for a moment, and I simply say, thank you, I accept. And it is then that I will pick up my felt and write my new name for 2019 on my white stone. And so we begin our 2 minutes of silence. And if your new name has revealed itself, I invite you to write it on your stone. giving thanks and accepting your new name. Giving thanks if it has not come to you yet, that will come to you in your own perfect divine timing. And here thankfulness flows through us as we have received or will receive our new identity for 2019 that comes with the power and guidance to achieve all that is for our highest good and for the highest good of all that we are here to sacredly serve in 2019. We take the initiative to commit to consciously taking time to create sacred space in our lives. For it is now that in this sacred space, for it is here in the sacred space that transformation occurs. It's through this act of consciously opening to and being in the sacred silence and listening to that still small voice, to the Christ within, that we empower ourselves, creating a sacred sense of freedom. I invite you to look at what you've just written on your stone. And if it's blank, allow it to be an invitation to the moment that you will receive your name. This is your new name, and you, beloved, are free to live life as the unique and magnificent expression of the divine that you truly be. You may choose to share this name after service, or you may choose to hold it close to your heart and not share it outwardly with anyone. Whatever you choose is absolutely perfect. And so we know that the power of our conscious choice to harvest all of the power of this ritual, this ceremony, is so. We declare it to be so, and so it is.